Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity.
And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Leadership Week. This week on Kindness Rising. It's Monday, which means I am attempting something incredibly bold. Leading myself before my caffeine kicks in. Listen, if you're sweating the week already, congratulations, you're officially alive. Welcome in on a Monday morning to Kindness Rising. I'm Matthew Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and today we are kicking off our Leadership Week with the hardest person you'll ever have to lead. That's yourself. I'm trying to lead myself. People leading is easier than leading yourself. Deadlines, meeting those, that's easier than leading yourself. My cat, it's easier than leading myself. And if you've met Sensei Whiskers, you know that is saying something. So welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. And I am so glad you have chosen to join me here today.
This is Kindness Rising.
You know that phrase, lead by example? Well, it sounds great until you've got to lead yourself and you are resisting your own leadership. Leadership isn't something you gain when you get a title. It is something that you grow into, and it starts the moment you start steering your own life. For most of us, self-leadership feels like trying to untangle your earbuds. You think you've got it, and suddenly you're in a knot again. Well, at Kindness Rising, we work on ourselves here. Good morning, Mike Sullivan. Yeah, Ithaca Bakery, one of my all-time favorite places. Have you been there? Check it out if you ever have a chance to be in upstate New York. Ithaca Bakery has a lot of memories for me. Amazing food, obviously, but it's the place we go every Father's Day, actually. My wife and my two kids on Father's Day, we drive up to Ithaca. It's about an hour from here. And we go on a hike into one of the gorges, and then we go over to the bakery. We love the Ithaca Bakery. So there's a commercial for the Ithaca Bakery. If anybody's around and in Ithaca, check it out. All right, Mike, welcome in. Roseanne Roof, of course, I am glad you are here. Whoever else is out there in the Kindness Rising land, please get involved in the chat. Talk about what you're doing, what you're getting up and getting after today, this morning, rising above the noise of the world that attacks us from the moment we wake up. Kindness Rising is a way to take a little break from that. With me here on Kindness Rising, I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy on the mornings in the Lab Network, and I am glad you're here. Hey, Jerry Ginger, welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. So happy that you continue to join me here every day as we get up and get after it, working on our growth, on our personal growth. This week on Kindness Rising, we are doing Leadership Week. I'm going to talk about leading myself. I'm going to talk about leading our families, in our work, whatever the case may be, warts and all, talking about our challenges, telling our stories, lifting each other up to higher heights as we grow, because growth isn't linear. I've talked about this before. Growth is a spiral staircase. You go around, you see the same things, but each time you're a little wider, you're a little higher up that ladder, up that staircase as you repeat. It's not a loop. You're not caught in an infinite loop. If you feel like you're dealing with the same things over and over again, each time we face problems that are common to us, we have a little bit of a different perspective. You get a little stronger, you get a little clearer about it. And sometimes you don't even recognize it's your own growth because you're looking in the wrong direction. You're looking outside of yourself. You think your leadership means taking these huge steps corporately or whatever the case may be, or making the perfect plan or building a strategy. But no, that's not it. Self-leadership looks like getting out of bed when it's not easy to, when it would have been just as easy to say, today I'm going to linger around. I'm going to hit the snooze. I'm going to chill with my coffee, but you got to do some of that too. It's about that balance. But hey, good morning, Keith. Good morning. Good morning. So glad you are joining me again. So yeah, we're talking about those things, self-leadership. It's not about being perfect. It's not about taking huge steps. Absolutely. But you want to make one honest decision. Get out of bed. Allow yourself to make a change without feeling guilty about it. Being kind to yourself. Every significant change that has happened in my life didn't come from a magical lightning bolt or a aha moment. It came from a little internal tug, a little inside job saying this is a good direction for you, or you're going to try something new. I am learning to trust that voice a little more than I ever have. And absolutely. So, and that's how I ended up in my new role that I'll be heading to shortly, but I'm not, it's not because I reinvented myself. It's because I'm recognizing my patterns. Leadership isn't about knowing all the answers. I could have rolled over. You're absolutely right. Leadership is not about knowing all the answers. It's about not abandoning yourself when you think you have things figured out. Absolutely, I could have rolled over in bed and just said, I won't go live today. I'll just get up. I'll take a shower, run out the door, and get to the next place I need to be. I used to behave that way. I did. I would just get up and wait till the very last second, sometimes snooze until the last second, sometimes past the last second, get in the shower, rush around. Where's my keys? What am I doing? All that insanity. Now I get up a little earlier. I give myself a little time to get going in the morning. I have a plan. And what I do first is get ready to come live here, 7:30 a.m. Eastern on the Mornings in the Lab Network and Kindness Rising channel. And we've got our friends Cal and Stan. So let's see what they have been up to and how they are working on leading
Self-leadership is simple. You just have to motivate yourself.
I am motivated. I just don't know what I'm motivated to do.
Start something.
Like what? A snack? A new life?
A nap?
Start by leading your morning. Just one step. Leave the dramatic leaps to us cats.
Oh boy. Reggie's leaping, but we're taking one step at a time here on Kindness Rising. We might make leaps along the way too, but we'll leave those leaps to the cat. The cat. All right. So always here on Kindness Rising, we get up and get after it, and we talk about social organizations, places that are leaning into the subjects that we are talking about, that live the principles that we speak about spiral staircase and the 6 strings and all the things that are going to make us just feel better in our lives and be better in our lives and grow every day. And one of those organizations is the Center for Creative Leadership. They're an organization that spent more than 50 years helping people develop their inner muscle of leadership, awareness emotional intelligence, adaptability and decision making, excuse me, resilience. CCL takes the stance that leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about taking responsibility, believing that leadership is a practice, not a position, and it's a behavior, not the name on your name badge. Absolutely. Anybody can lead. You can lead every day by getting up and getting after it with us here on the mornings in the lab. And if you don't know how, I'm here to help you. I'm Matt Roos, the Uncommon Guidance Guy. I can help you go live along with our friends Keith Billis and the Mornings in the Lab team with Keith, John, and friends live that comes at 8 o'clock today. Thank you. Shane Smith, welcome in, buddy. TF I'm talking about is I am talking about leadership. I am talking about getting up and getting after it and leading yourself first. Then you can lead other people. Then you can lead projects. Then you can lead your community, but it starts within yourself. And that's what we'll be talking about all weekend long. All weekend long. Apps are all week. Yeah. Shane. Well, you might think that, but there's nothing wrong with that either. That's what I'm going to say. Straight, gay, whatever. This could be gay AF. If you're gay and you're leading yourself, then it's gay AF, I guess, right? Anyway, creative. I forgot the name of the organization I was talking about. It's Center for Creative Leadership. That is what I am talking about. It teaches you that leadership begins with being mindful. What are you thinking? What are you avoiding? What are you consuming? What story do you tell about who you are? That's the work. That's the hard stuff. And they're out there building leaders from the inside out.
If you like honesty with a side of chaos, hit subscribe! It's the closest thing we've got to career stability.
There you go. Jump in and subscribe. Shane Smith, go ahead, subscribe. Caleb, welcome in and subscribe to the channel. Join me every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on Kindness Rising, where we get up and get after it to start our day. Another thing. Today we're starting something new here on Kindness Rising, 96 episodes into the program, but I am listening. I am paying attention to what's going on out there. And what I know is that you all out there in Kindness Rising land like it when I talk about nostalgia, talk about things that we grew up with and the way they had an impact on our lives. And that's what I'm doing today. So as a person of a certain age, a Gen Xer, there was a singular device that changed our lives. Not talking about the Atari 2600. I'm talking about the Commodore 64. I am not even talking about the CB radio or any of those things that we used to get into in the 70s, 80s. I am talking about our Walkman. Remember when the Walkman came out? It was freaking legendary, right? To not have to have headsets, first of all, to have the music that you wanted versus a transistor radio or a boom box that everybody else had to hear, right? We all now earbuds are just part of what we have, earphones, headphones. Before the Walkman came out, there wasn't much going on as far as that privacy and that listening directly in our ear, but we got to grow up with the Walkman, the iconic yellow one. Everyone, I think, probably remembers that, the bright yellow Sony Walkman that had the flap and you put your tape in and that kind of thing. That was a big one. The one I had was actually a different version. My first Walkman, I remember it clearly. It was a white box and it had two buttons, a red button for play and a black button for stop. Basically, it had some side buttons. I think I could rewind and fast forward, but it was this white box with two big buttons on it. And I'll never forget also the first first cassette that I listened to. Maybe it's not the first, but the most memorable, definitely one that I wore out at that time in my life was Hall & Oates Maneater. That was the name of the album, but that album that had Maneater and Kisses on My List and all those big hits, their big album, man, that thing. Oh, I also had the my kids had Walkman, Jerry. All right, Jerry, that's all right. They're allowed to have Walkman. My kids had Discman, so we're evolving. You know, it happens. CDs before digital anything, but absolutely that the other cool feature it had was being able to just play continuously. It would flip it automatically, play the other way, somehow play the tape. I don't know. I don't know anything about the technology, but when you got the continuous reverse or whatever, or auto rewind, that was pretty cool. Absolutely. But here's the thing, those devices, they aren't just fun memories. They actually shape us, right? In a certain way, right? The Walkman opened up our world to things, being able to listen. You could just escape into that, right? To go from the stereos of the 70s. I guess they had the big headphones, remember the really big ones, but everyone listens to Kashmir. Absolutely. I know you're talking about Led Zeppelin, Jerry Ginger, right? Awesome song. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. All right. My favorite version of that song is the one that Plant and Page did on their, I forgot what they call it. It was like, it wasn't a reunion tour, but they had a full orchestra behind them. The No Quarter album Page and Plant came out with, and had this full strings behind them. How can you not get pumped up from that song? It's so cool. It's great song from our generation, Jerry Ginger. Nice call. All right. And here's the thing, that's the other thing about the Walkman, right? And having those cassettes, it allowed you to choose what you wanted to listen to, what you would allow in, the voices that set the tone for your day. Self-leadership is the same way. What voices are you letting in? Are you letting in voices like what we talk about here on Kindness Rising in? Are you into rage bait and divisiveness? I hope not. I hope you come here to Kindness Rising, where we collaborate and lift each other up rather than divide, and we welcome all who come. Absolutely. So that was the first ever of this segment. I'm calling it the Be Kind Rewind. Kind of clever, right? Remember the Be Kind Rewind? I don't know. So this is the Be Kind Rewind. We're rewinding it back to remember how the things that we grew up with helped us to form who we are. Absolutely. All right, jumping in. Where did I miss? I missed something here. Okay. How about, we're 18 minutes in, yakking along, and got 10 minutes left. I'm going to take another little coffee sip. Ithaca Bakery, the Uncommon Kindness logo. I love my water bottles. Rosamond Gifford Zoo with the red fox on it. You guys know that one. A couple of different bands that I love too, of course. And lastly, Philadelphia Pretzel Company. I know they're a chain, but they're addictive. They're special. I mean, where else are you going to get that much for that little money? And it's bread, water, salt. I mean, it's the flour, water, salt. It's amazing that something that's so simple can taste so good. All right. Here's another thing. If you want to practice leadership, why don't you go live? I talked about it earlier. That's what I'm doing every day by showing up here at 7:30 every morning. It becomes a mirror of who you are, your energy, your presence, your patterns, your truth. You can't hide when you're out here. You can't edit it. You can't filter it. You can't rehearse. connection. You can rehearse scripts and look at things, but connecting with the community, building a community, that's what we are doing here at Kindness Rising. Absolutely. So remember, when you go live, you're practicing courage, consistency, clarity, presence, vulnerability, and all the things that are going to help you to grow stronger, because every time you hit that button, you're proving you can show up before you feel ready. And that is one of the essences of leadership. Just showing up and doing what happens and being able to handle how things come, and being confident within yourself. And so let's see what Sensei Whiskers has to say about it. If I can find him.
Sensei, what's the first step in leading yourself?
Stop chasing every laser pointer that flashes by.
So focus on what matters?
What matters moves with you, not away from you.
What matters moves with you, not away from you. That is something that I've been leaning into very heavily and thinking about too. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter what your job is, where you live, where you're staying, what matters stays with you. And if you stay true to those things, to those values that are important to you, to what really connects with you, then you will be able to lead. And here are 3 leadership actions, 3 steps to lead yourself today. Choose one thing to finish. How's that for an idea? Completion of something that builds trust, it builds confidence. We all start lots and lots of things. Finish something that's been lingering out there. It's going to clear your mind, first of all, but second of all, it's going to give you that sense of accomplishment and knowing that you can lead to completion. Own your energy. That's another one. Leadership doesn't come from burning out. It comes from alignment. So when you know what your energy levels are, what you can give, how much you can give, and you're authentic to that. Some people have a higher vibration, right? We talk about that too a little bit. They're vibing a little higher energy, and every day you bring what you bring. Some days it's higher, some days it's lower. But what really matters is that you bring it every day and that you are aware of it. Absolutely. And lastly, telling yourself the truth. Stop pretending to yourself. If you can't be honest with anybody else, at least be honest with yourself as you're working on things. What are you avoiding? What do you really want? What do you keep saying that you're going to do someday, one day, and just keep holding on. Self-leadership begins with honesty and begins with action. Get up, do something, take some action, and you will see the progress, feel better about yourself, all those things. Welcome again to Kindness Rising as we wind down on our half an hour show of the morning together every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern here on Kindness Rising. Roseanne Roof, good morning, my mother. The greatest leaders are the ones who first learn how to serve others. I agree 100%. Servant leadership is essential. It starts with how to do that. And Jerry, I love that idea. Great leaders build leaders and set them free. That's an interesting thought, right? I agree with it. Not everybody does, especially people who might feel threatened, right? I've seen it. I've watched it happen where people who is like, as managers or, especially in the corporate world, they get threatened by somebody. And so they start to sabotage or they don't lead in the same way rather than building the other person up and helping them to grow and being happy for them as they grow. That's absolutely a thing that happens, and I love that. The greatest leaders build other leaders and set them free. Absolutely. Great thought, Jerry Ginger. My watch is binging like crazy here. I don't know what's going on this morning, but I do know one thing that's going on for sure, and that is at 8 o'clock, Keith Billis and John Anderson and Marty are going to get up and get going with you guys this morning over on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friend. And here's their topic today. One of their topics today, maybe you'll be interested in, it's checking in on the strong friends. Every circle has one, the guy who's just always calm, always supportive, the emotional anchor, the one that people can vent to. But here's the truth, that guy gets tired. Those two people typically carry things in silence. So check in on your friends who you think are the strong friend, right? Because they too have their life. Send a message to that person who seems to think they have it all handled and ask them how they're really doing. Absolutely. That is going to be a topic of conversation over on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends on this morning. And we are here on Kindness Rising talking about leadership, leading yourself first before you're able to lead others, or focusing on that first. And being focused on that will allow you to be a better leader of others when you lead yourself. Thank you again for joining us here on Kindness Rising. Get on over to see Keith, John, and Friends on the Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Kindness Rising. Subscribe on YouTube. You can follow us on LinkedIn. You can follow us on Facebook. All of those places where we are. Jerry Ginger, I'll see you, buddy. I am winding down here too with this message. Self-leadership it isn't about perfection. It isn't about perfection. It's about presence. One small step, one honest moment, one choice to lead instead of drift. And when you lead yourself, even imperfectly, your entire life begins to rise with you. So lead yourself today, and the rest of the week will follow. Thank you again for joining us here on Kindness Rising. Come on back tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and every weekday. And as always, I say this: stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.